Hey, what's going on, folks? I was going to do this video outside after I got done with my training this morning. It's too windy. Uh, First run, excuse me, my first run since injuring my other ankle. For only a handful of people know, I mean, anyone that follows anything I do know, I train all the time, but I'm training for something that's totally different right now, at different level. I'm putting bits and pieces of it out. I'm not disclosing it to everyone yet. You know, one of those things. Don't tell everybody what you're doing. People try to fuck things up for you, and they do. So people know soon enough. Uh, Injured my ankle in the 48-hour challenge a couple weeks ago. Pushing myself because of the time gaps, and as I explained in the other video, and then injured my other ankle, rolled it. And anyone knows that runs any distance, if you roll your ankle, hurt your ankle, uh, while you're running, just like pain with anything, you keep going. It doesn't hurt till you stop. Remember that, folks, for all the people that can't seem to get any mental discipline and are always a victim. The pain sets in when you stop because you're not doing it enough. It's not easy. It fucking sucks. It's suffering. People have no idea what's in our head every day, what we go through, what we manage, what we got to stay in front of. It's never going to go away. Pain sets in physically and mentally when you stop. So since the 48-hour challenge 2 weeks ago, this is only my third run. Left ankle that I rolled running. I fell out of the ladder the same day, painting the house. Landed on my feet, but overcompensated. When you have an injury, you overcompensate. So today was reasonable. I ran for an hour and something. I got to go back and check. See, I think it was right at 6 miles. It went as expected. This brings me to this. Again, sometimes I capture this while it's fresh on my mind. And for anyone that has something to say, again, what people think of us are none of our business. What we think of them are none of their business. Those of you that know who I'm talking about, there's plenty of people. Even if you don't comment on the post, in the comment section, like it, share it, or anything, it's not necessary. It's quality over quantity, because each one of you know if you reach out to me privately and tell me when you need to hear it or you need to hear something. And it may be periodically, it may be consistently. That makes all the difference. That's why people like me do what I do. Which is, I want to tell you this. Whatever it is that you given up on, that you want to give up on, if you're worried about criticism, hate, any of those things, let me tell you this. If you're broke, bankrupt, no support, very little resources, people turned their back on you, walked away from you for whatever reason, didn't believe in you, still don't believe in you, criticize, poke fun, maybe you're barely eating, maybe you don't have no money for luxuries, maybe you barely have money for necessities. You're ready to get started now. That's all you need to get started. That sounds fucking crazy. I had to really get this run out of me today, because I realize there's some more people and situations I got to cut off. They know that I know. They spend too much explaining why they're not the way they are. That's another thing. Y'all quit fucking explaining it, man. You ain't got to, the way I see it, I ain't got to answer to no fucking body except my old lady. My mom's gone. The only person that has authority over me is God himself. Other than that, no man does. Maybe they might be in a position of authority, but they don't have no authority. I'm not explaining shit. I said what I said. Y'all need to quit explaining yourselves, because it makes you look weak. There is a time to apologize. There is a time to explain because people that don't understand. But just explaining or defending why you are or not a certain way, fuck that. And fuck those people. You ain't got to explain shit. Own it. Live with it. Embrace it. If you have none of the things I just listed, you're ready to get started. Here's another thing. Those people think that you won't do without. Just like I said, I realized I had to go on a decent run today, because I realized that there's some more sacrifices I got to make. I get up every day and realize what else I can cut out of my life and do without. And that's crazy, because I think that they're getting in my way of my progress, my mission, and my purpose. And these certain people and situations, I don't know what more they need to see. It's not bragging. It's just our life and our action provides the data throughout our life. And even more so now, more mental discipline than I ever have been. We're not scared to do without. I mean, we do without shit voluntarily. So I realize I'm going to have to most likely do without some more benefits and resources to get done what I need to do. The more you go at stuff alone with lack of support, the more tools you gain. They don't understand it turns you into a fucking monster. Once you go at it alone and someone comes along in your life, don't look for it. That is your backbone. That is your right arm. You feel unstoppable. And that's the way I feel. Now, because it took a long time, I was used to going at stuff alone. If you have none of those things, you're ready to get started. This brings me to this. All the criticism, all the hate, all the speculation, all the naysayers, all the poking fun, all the putting you down. A lot of people do this in the beginning. And then whether these people have the resources to help you, put you in a different position or not, if they heckled you in any way, criticized you in any way, behind your back, publicly or privately, most of the time privately, most of the time not publicly. People like to be a part of something. Their need to fit in makes them do this. They join in the lynching of somebody else don't like you, so they, for whatever reason they've told themselves, and probably not even a legitimate reason, they go gather up other people to do the same. You remember this? A lot of these people will come back later and say they believed in you the whole time. They want to jump on that bandwagon. They didn't want to be a part of it in the beginning. They didn't want to be a part of the work. They didn't want to be a part of the sacrifice while you suffered and did without. They didn't want to be a part of any of that because they thought that their criticism would stop you. Or if these people have an abundance of resources, they think they can just jump back in anytime and you'll be okay because you need it. If they did not want to be a part of the work, they did not want to be a part of the sacrifice, and they did not want to be a part of any of the process, do not let them be a part of the fucking results either. Do not let them back on board. You don't have to check them now, but make sure you remind them later. Not all of them, but some of them are going to come back around. I see it now. They're trying to worm their way in. They think that we need it, and we could use some of those resources. See, that's the thing. If you're used to doing without them already, and you're used to going at it alone, you don't need that you don't need their ass anyway. Do not let them do those things on the front end and then come along on the back end and think it's okay that they can just jump in. Again, if you're broke, if you're lonely, if you're bankrupt, people turn their back on you, if you're barely eating, if you're running out of gas, whatever it is, you're ready to get started now. Once you can get through those things, you can get through anything. I just had this on my mind today because I got to make some real big decisions again. I don't announce them. They'll know when it happens. So, man, y'all stay humble and live savage, man.